Our next speaker is another Angel family member, an Angel mom, Kathy Hall of Colorado. Her daughter Halley King was killed by an illegal alien in a hit-and-run accident in Arkansas on November 6, 2016. I'm just saying, I don't know how illegal aliens get their driver's license. It's really something that has to be looked at. But anyway, please welcome Kathy Hall to the podium.
Hi. I'd like to say that I'm happy to be here today, but I'm not. None of us should be here. My daughter was the youngest of 4 children. She was hard of hearing. She was riding passenger on the back of a scooter when an illegal man driving down the road hit them from behind, going 71 in a 35. My daughter lived for about 6 hours. My husband and I had to make the choice to try to resuscitate her or to let her go. There was no chance of survival for her. You know, that's a decision no parent should ever have to make. 2 days later, they found the man who had hit my daughter. He was taken down to the jail. A bondsman was already waiting, and he was released within 2 hours and given the vehicle back. He was free for 17 months. There was a plea deal done. We had no choice in the plea deal. We had no choice in anything. We were not allowed to ask for restitution or anything to cover the expenses, although he was able to afford one of the better attorneys in town, pay for expert witnesses. He was fined $270. When we went to sentencing, this man had not been in jail for 17 months. He was sentenced that day when he pled guilty, and he was released to go home for another 2 weeks to get his affairs in order. We were devastated. I wish I would have had 2 more weeks with my child. This man should have never been given bond. He was not on our streets legally, so why was he released back onto them to begin with? My husband and I have struggled to make it through every single day knowing what's happened. My husband was in the Army for 26 years and had retired. He's made the comment repeatedly that at least in a time of war, in a war zone, he knew who his enemy was. You know, for our own government to turn and try to protect the people that have harmed us and are here illegally is absolutely absurd. We need more than a wall. We need to fix the problems in our own judicial system to stop this. We cannot just put up a wall and expect everything to be better because it's so deep here. There is no help out there for victims because everything is different when it's an illegal who has committed the crime. You know, I am really hoping that our voices are heard and changes can be made. But it goes far beyond that wall, and people need to realize it. We were in small town Arkansas when this happened. It will happen anywhere. Mm-hmm. If you think that you're in a small town and it's not going to happen, you're very wrong. That's right. When we had gone to the press and we spoke out, my daughter had a child, a little girl. We were waiting to get into court at the time for custody of that child. 10 days after we had spoken out with the press, she was adopted to a family that was not family to us, or her at all. We are currently fighting to try to get her back home where she belongs with her family. There are some very good legislators out there that we are working with that are trying to help us. But you know, this problem goes well beyond just the outside influences. Every night when I'm missing my child and I can't stand the pain, this is what I have. This is what I have to cuddle and miss my child. This man will be out of jail in 2 years on parole. He was sentenced to 17 years, and he will serve 2 years of that time before he hopefully will be escorted home, but from what I'm hearing, that probably won't happen either. And I just hope that all of you remember when you go home tonight to hug your children.
Amen to that. Amen.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. We have 2 more speakers.